Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Corner. This week,
we're talking tech.
Yeah. Oh, it's a nice day for Talking Corner. Talking Corner totally don't suck. Okay, today we show you how to assemble a simple computer using these parts. And to all of you out there who know how to build a computer, going like, oh, you don't put a thermostat into a computer?
Fearless key entry?
Yeah, which, by the way, is absolutely terrible. Do not buy this thing that you touch. The deadbolt never works. Never works. So all of these components all go together to make a computer.
Like a sandwich.
Yeah, kinda, except nothing like that at all. So they all go into a case.
Usually.
No, I don't want to say usually.
No. Sorry.
So you, of course, can buy whatever case you want. That's, in my opinion, one of the most important things when building your own computer is the case, because that's the thing you look at.
It has to be practical for your purposes, whether it's aesthetic or functionality.
Yeah, me, I like aesthetics.
I had to have one with a handle.
Functionality. Yeah, and you had to have one with a handle. I also had to have one with a handle. But it had to look good. I didn't just want a generic black box. Not reviewed upon your case, good sir.
It's it's stereotypical.
That's
KC.
Well, it used to be the big beige box, and then everything went black. I don't know why, but now it's the big black box.
I didn't choose it because it looked cool, though.
It was perfect price with one with a handle,
and it was a mid-size,
and it could fit everything you needed in it.
Yeah,
and that you in the future wanted and still want probably to put it in.
It just happens to glow red.
Happens to glow red. Doesn't need to glow red. Anyway, today we're going to be using this very inexpensive case option by Sunripe. Not a sponsor.
You wouldn't think Sunripe makes very good cases. And they don't.
And you would be right. Alright, now, all of this work can be done using only one screwdriver, and your screwdriver will have an end to it, whereas this one doesn't.
It will.
It will. Yeah. Alright, normally you start by putting these little standoffs in. Just zoom in on that, and you just shove it in like so, right into the case material. And actually, feel that, that's like, unbelievable! But we're not using that.
No, we're just gonna hot glue it.
We're not using that either. Instead, I have these 4 larger standoffs. You see all those in there? And then, yeah, we're just gonna like lay it on there. Like so. Alright, so there you have it. Motherboard firmly secured to the case. That's not going anywhere. So this is where you put the CPU. That's like the brain behind the operation. And this here is that CPU. You just line up the triangles, plop it in, close, and lock. Done! Now Jesse here is going to install the RAM. That's this stick of memory. That's where all your programs run.
Alright, so there's a split in the RAM that's not perfectly centered, so you have to align it. Make sure the tabs are open. You have to align it with the corresponding nub. And then just give it a good push, and as you apply pressure, it will...
Oh, careful, that case's integrity isn't that integral.
There we go. As you push, it will secure itself into place.
So next, the cooler right here has to go on this big old CPU. But it can't just like sit on there because not much heat's gonna go into here. So you have a TIM. And that stands for thermal interface material. In this case, it's just a paste that I'll just use the line method to put a line there. And then you just squish it down. Ta-da! Since this case didn't include any fans, we're gonna have to make our own proprietary fan mount, like this here. And we'll just use some Velcro straps. And after this brief testing, this cooler will be available on caveofvideos.com/store.
A sponsor.
You just plug it into the fan. It'll say chassis fan on the board there. And that's the chassis fan. Which is weird because there's no other fan header for CPU fans. Next, you mount the power supply unit into the case. Now this one is a normal size, or like it's the normal size one, but it looks so big compared to this setup we've got here. There really isn't a good spot for it, so you know what? I'm just gonna put it right like that.
We'll hot glue it in place.
I'll hot glue it in place. It'll be fine. Or you know what? Right in front of the fan here. Basically, when you're building a computer, you can't plug in a connector into the wrong spot. It's impossible. All these, I don't know if you can see that there, we'll zoom in, but all these pins have either square or rounded corners, and they'll only fit in one spot. So you just take and you shove it in. The next step is to mount somewhere
The hard drive.
the hard drive, because that's what will hold all your stuff. And so this one seems pretty fitting to go right on top like that, because it gives us access to these ports here.
Look, carrying it to the garage.
Which one of these wires is going to go in?
SATA power?
SATA power. How do you know that?
Because I know how to build computers.
Yeah, you do know how to build computers. Here's SATA power, just like that. And you know what? We have two drives in this computer. One of them is this 1924 optical drive.
Which we will cut a hole for.
Used by the Queen
Ooh.
herself. No, not a sponsor. And you know, that looks good right up here. Yeah, oh yeah, this is getting to be a nice tower. See, before that, this is why it's called a tower, because they used to just stack them all up into a big tower.
Not a fact.
Alright, then all these extra wires you just neatly tuck into your case, out of the way so no one can see them, just like so.
Perfect.
Alright, now
Pretend
the next step is to hook up your front I/O panel, which includes your power button. In this case, you can't see all the connectors because I've just buried them all.
Why?
Really buried them all with all these wires. So I'm just going to quickly connect them all. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, now that you have all those hooked up, your computer's ready to turn on. So the next and final step is to plug it in. Now that you've got your perfectly normal looking computer here, along with your oversized gargantuan monitor, we'll just see if she fires right up. Oh, you know what? I forgot to flick the switch on the power supply here.
Ah. No explosions?
Well, it didn't ignite into flames like I thought it might.
That's
so
always good.
that's really a good start. It also
Didn't start.
didn't start, and that's not a good start. Alright, we found the source of the problem, and now, without further ado, we just fire it right up. Make sure your monitor is plugged in properly, and voila! Anybody can build a computer in like 20 or 30 minutes.
It's easy.
It's easy! And now a word from our sponsors. From the company that's been putting stuff into container for years. They bring you the all-new ATX, ITX, NFC Apple Juice. Their first all-in-one computer case. This case comes in at a price point never before seen. Now to tell us about it, Sunripe expert, Mr. Dole Sunkist.
With the new ATX ITX NFC Apple Juice Dole computer case for modular systems, you are able to put any type of motherboards you want. This is really a build at your own price point. The case itself costs next to nothing. In fact, if you're lucky, you can find it somewhere for nothing. It comes with holes to mount your motherboard and space to mount anything else that'll stack neatly. There's a convenient undercarriage area to tuck away any wires you don't want, or you could cut holes for whatever disk drive you wish to include. It's the most modular piece of technology you will ever see.
Warning, product is highly flammable, not recommended for use with electronic products built at your own risk.